What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel and the video review of the KingKong or the LDARC's Tiny 8X. It is the 85mm micro FPV hoop in the lineup of the X series hoop, in which there is the Tiny 6X, the Tiny 7X, and this one here, the Tiny 8X. Now, they all come in the basic version that comes with one battery and a charger, and an advanced bind and fly version which comes with 3 batteries, extra canopies, lots of props, and a multi-battery charger, and a ready to fly version that comes with the transmitter. Now, I have done a review on the Tiny 6X some time ago, and that one did come with a transmitter, and it was the ready to fly version. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up right here as well as down below. Now, this one here, I've gotten the FR Sky version that comes with the XM receiver. Now, this one also comes with the Fly Sky, the no receiver, the DSM-2, and a couple of Futaba receiver versions, in which one of them is the RX800 Pro receiver version, and for some reason that one is priced a lot lower than all of the other versions. So if you are interested in this quadcopter, make sure to check out that RX800 Pro receiver version. Alright, so here is a visual comparison between the Tiny 6X and the Tiny 8X. Now, I do not have the Tiny 7X to compare, but it should be right around in between these two sizes here. Now, this is the transmitter that came with the Tiny 6X. So it is the ready to fly version transmitter. So if you were to get the Tiny 8X in the ready to fly version, this will be the transmitter that it will come with. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the quadcopter here. Now, this one is the 85mm version, the biggest of the trio, and this one is sporting the 8520 brushed motors and the 48mm tri-bladed props. Now, the flight controller is a combination flight controller. It is the SP Racing F3 flight controller with built-in 3 amp brushed ESCs, as well as built-in 5.8 gigahertz 25 milliwatt 16 channel VTX. Now, this one does not come with Betaflight OSD, which is kind of sad, but this one is preloaded with Betaflight version 3.2.2. and if you take a closer look right from the top of the canopy, you can see there's a couple of buttons right there, one of which is the button to change the frequency, the 16 channel frequency, and for the VTX, and this button here is the bootloader button. All right, now the camera up in the front is the 800 TV line 150-degree field of view CMOS camera, and this one has a 10-degree up tilt. And we have the VTX antenna coming out of the side, the bare bone copper VTX antenna, and we have some LED light fixture in the back of the quadcopter. And of course, all of the motors are the plug and play type. So if you were to burn out a motor, very easy to switch them out. And here is the micro USB port to connect to your Betaflight configurator. And this thing comes in at just 41 grams without a battery, and with the provided 550 milliamp battery, comes in at 55 grams. Alright, so let's take a look at all of the stuff that comes with the advanced version. And the standout here is this 6-way battery charger that they provide you with. Very, very nice. It can be powered up via the XT60 connector, and at which time you are able to charge up 6 batteries at the same time. Now, they also provide you with a micro USB connection port, in which when you utilize it, you are able to charge up just 3 batteries at the same time. And by default, all of these ports are set to the high voltage charge, and it is the 4.35 volts. You are, however, able to switch over to the normal 4.2 voltage. You can jump that pad, as you see right there, on individual charge port area, and that'll switch it from the 4.35 high voltage to the normal 4.2 volts. So very, very nice charger indeed. And we also are given 3 canopies, 3 different colors, so you can put whatever color you want, and you are also given all these different color props, so you can match the canopy to your liking as well, or make it just multicolor. Here's some rubber bushings for the flight controller and such, and some screws. And here are the batteries, and they give you 3 batteries, like I say, and they are the LDARC high voltage 4.35 volt 550 milliamp battery. So they provide you 3 of these. Now I've already flown it, and they provide you roughly about 4 minutes of hard flying, so pretty decent. But they do provide you with 3 of them, so very nice. Here's a prop removal tool, a metal one, and here is the instruction booklet, and in English and in Chinese as well. Here's the English side, and it is the same instruction booklet that we get with the Tiny 6X or the 7X, and this one here is the Tiny 8X, and it goes on to show you just about all you need to know. And there is the diagram of the flight controller and how to go about setting it all up as well. So very, very nice instructional booklet. And we also get this battery meter as well, so you can check out how many voltage your battery has. And we are given 2 extra battery cables to connect it to your flight controller, so very, very nice, a 2mm type. And last but not least, here is the plastic case that everything came in. All right, here we go. I'm gonna check it out with some line of sight. First, I'm gonna turn on my remote. Got my T8 SG jumper remote, the original jumper remote, bound to the Tiny 8X, and gonna be using the battery that it came with. See here, plug it in, and it kind of slides back and forth a little bit, so you could put something in here to stabilize the battery a little bit more, but I'm just going to leave it just like that. And there we go. All right, let's go and check it out. There's a little LED light in the back, pretty nice. I believe the color is blue. Yeah, so far it's pretty nice. A little bit cloudy today. We've been having some monsoonal clouds here in the high desert, and it even rained yesterday. Yeah, a little thunderstorm activity going on over here, so the grounds are a little bit wet. Oh yeah, this thing is nice. It's got lots of power too. It is almost like as if I'm flying one of those brushless quads. It's got nice power. And that is my full throttle there. Ooh, a little wobbly up around the turns. So you can't snap the turns. You just kind of gotta gradually make that turn. Hey, so far it's nice. Very nice handling. And I usually do FPV with these tiny hoops in angle mode, which I am in right now. It's a lot more pleasant. Well, let's check this out in acro mode here. I did not put horizon mode into the mix. Here we go, checking it out. Oh yeah, you can do flips with this thing. It's got enough power to catch itself from the fall. Awesome. So you're going to be able to do acro flying and incorporate some flips. There I did a big loop and I did have to touch the ground a little bit. Nice. Yeah, this thing is working out pretty good. I don't think the other KingKong Tinies had this much power. This is the Tiny 8X. Now I've had the Tiny 6 and the Tiny 7 and the Tiny 6X, which all of them flew awesome. You can do outdoor hooping if there's not too much wind. And there's a small little breeze starting to kick in right now too. But these guys, the 6 and the 6X especially, are just awesome little tiny hoop for indoors. You can even full throttle down the hallway, and it's got just the right amount of power and agility to go in and out of bedrooms and stuff, and perfect. But I think this one here, man, might have a little bit too much power for me indoors. But here in the outdoors, pretty decent. Yeah, XM receiver. And I got the jumper, so we're talking hundreds of meters in distance here with the tiny hoop. I wonder what the VTX distance will be. Okay, slowly coming down in altitude, and there is the flight time with the 550 milliamp battery that it came with. All right, here we go with our first FPV flight. I got another 550 milliamp battery that it came with, so very nice of them to give you 3 batteries. You got more than enough battery, and I love the fact that I don't have to charge it up between flights. So let's go and check it out. I'm going to take off in angle mode first and check it out in angle mode, and I'll flip it over to acro mode. So let's go and arm the motors. And no OSD, guys, so we don't know what the battery level is. Oh yeah, this thing's got nice video. It's a little gloomy today, so we're not flying around in perfect blue sky conditions like I normally do. Yeah, these monsoonal clouds moved in and gave us a little dousing, which is good. Okay, so far the video quality is okay. I get a little snow here and there. Very smooth in angle mode. Yeah, got more than enough power to move around. Let me traverse towards the back of the car and see if I get some breakup. Yep, definitely break up, so you want to stay relatively in line of sight with this quadcopter flying around, especially if you're going to do some proximity. And there is a little bit of snow here and there. Yeah, I even lost signal. Yeah, so you can't go too far with this thing. So it's primarily for indoors, but this thing has lots of power. I'm gonna flick it to acro mode. There we go. Oh yeah, acro mode is a lot more fluid. You have to control it all the way around. And there is a tiny little breeze kicking in, but this thing is flying as if there's no breeze. Not bad at all. Let me try and do a little flip here. Whoa, pretty fast little flip. I got my rates set at 1.1 and super set at 0.8. And check it out. It did some pretty fast flips. Yeah, so if doing flips is your thing, this thing has more than enough power to do flips. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got a little bit of lost visual on the video feed on that backflip. Alright, now let's check out and see if we can do a... Oh yeah, we can, but because of the ducted fan prop guards, we are getting redirected as we're coming down. There, I'm getting redirected. I'm getting spun around. See that? I hit the ground. Let me go ahead and retrieve it. Alright, brought it back to the table. I didn't even know where it landed. There's no buzzer, and it was upside down. In that short grass, I couldn't find it. I had to walk around and look for it. That took a little bit, but let's go ahead and check it out some more with the same battery. We'll run it till it's gone here. Acro mode. But not bad, man. Let me get some altitude before I do another one of those maneuvers. You are able to do a loop, but on the way down, the ducted fan design just kind of redirects your path because this thing is so light. So a perfect little quadcopter for cruising around in the house, I would say, or small little park area. Good enough. And you are able to fly this thing in acro. It is very smooth actually in acro. And I feel a little bit of battery drain, and there we go. Lost signal, blacked out, and we gained back our video feed. But that is the battery life on the KingKong Tiny 8X. Alright guys, just got done checking out the KingKong Tiny 8X, the larger size tiny hoop by KingKong. It's got the 8520 brushed motors, the biggest of them all. So yeah, as expected, it's got decent amount of power in angle mode, very stable and very smooth. 25 milliwatt VTX, so you aren't able to go the distance, but it was far enough, good enough to fly around inside the house or around the house in a small park setting. So just a perfect little tiny hoop. And it does acro mode, and you are able to fly this thing in acro mode. It is slightly underpowered, unlike some of those brushless models, but it does give you the opportunity to fly around in acro mode. So in a sense, this thing is a perfect trainer. So you are able to fly it inside the house. You can probably fly it inside the house in acro mode as long as you don't do all kinds of maneuvers inside a house, but you can train yourself inside a house when the weather is bad on the outside. So just a perfect little quadcopter to have. I bounded it to my T8 SG jumper remote, and I bound just about every single tiny hoop to this transmitter. And it is just an awesome transmitter, very accurate in flying around. This one, however, was sent without the remote control. So there's another version that comes with the remote control, kind of like my Tiny 6X did. Its own little remote control. Is a bind and fly, or ready to fly, sorry. This one is a bind and fly. It did come with the XM receiver, however, so very, very nice. They are using better receivers for their quadcopter. I believe they were shipping their old units out with the AC900 FR Sky receiver, and sometimes, well, that one did pretty good too. So, you know, XM receiver is a lot better. And XM Plus receiver could be better, but for a tiny hoop, XM receiver is more than enough. So this is the battery that I got left, one more. So I'm going to fly it around a little bit more. But the wind is kind of picking up, so that's kind of a bummer. But I got both of the other two batteries that I just used charging up in its own battery charge cradle. So check it out. I got a 4-cell battery connected to it via the XT60, and you are able to charge these batteries high voltage with this nice battery charger out in the field. So as you can see, I got both of them, one on each side. So remember, on this charger, if you plug it into a USB or micro USB power source, you are only able to charge it on one side. All right, but if you use the XT60 with a battery, then you are able to charge it on both sides. You can charge 6 batteries at the same time, but it is nicer than to provide you with 3 batteries on this particular version of the KingKong Tiny 8X. So there you have it, guys, my review and test flight of the KingKong Tiny 8X. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.
Congratulations.